Metroid Prime 4 Beyond has been in the making for a long time. But for how long, you ask? Since 2017. And by the way, even though it was announced in 2017, you know they'd had to be kind of do development like at least a year or 2 years before. Dude, that was like, can even say 10 years ago or 8. This game has been developed, scrapped, changed in many ways, especially when you see the first like lettering they show Metroid Prime 4 and now the lettering of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. You can tell that it's been through many changes. But did it live up to the 10-year wait? Well, I could say this. Any game that takes 10 years to make will probably never ever live up to that expectation. A very good example was Cyberpunk. I mean, yeah, they did kind of mess around with the development, whole process, but didn't even live up to the hype. And when the game was fixed, the game was just like, yeah, it's cool, I guess. No Man's Sky, another game, didn't really live up to the hype. And I personally think, my opinion, I think GTA 6 is probably not going to live up to the hype. Is it going to be a good game? I think it is going to be a good game. But I feel like when the game comes out, it might have like bugs and like glitches and maybe not live up to the hype that it was supposed to. I could be wrong though, but I just have a feeling. Usually games that take this long to make never live up to the hype, that's why. But I would bet that I'm wrong and that the game is going to be really good. I mean, they're putting a lot of effort into it, and they're probably delaying the game because they want to fix bugs. The game is probably so big that it has so many bugs and glitches that they want the game to come out right. They don't want a cyberpunk event, But anyways, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, mixed reviews. Spoiler alert, you've been spoiler alerted. Personally, I think the game was great. I think it's really good.
Is it a 10 out of 10?
No, it's not a 10 out of 10. I feel like the game, and I did see someone else say it, but it feels a little bit like outdated, maybe something like that. I still think it's fun, but it definitely feels like a GameCube game. And I don't really blame Nintendo for that, because I know there's a few people that go like, oh, well, this isn't a Metroid game, kind of like Breath of the Wild. Oh, this isn't like the other Zelda games. And then there's going to be other people saying,
well, we wanted something new. Come on, stop making it the same.
So you can tell in this one, they kind of try to do both. I really don't care for the psychic ability. It's cool and all, but I don't really care for it. I guess it was just a new gimmick, like, oh, we got to give Samus a gimmick, we can't just like let her be just like the other Metroid games. There has to be a little gimmick. I did not, I repeat, I did not like the open world. No, you can tell this open world was probably made a few years ago, where remember how games, and they still kind of do it, but they just had to add an open world just so it can be cool. I felt like that's why they did that. It could have been done without the open world for sure. You can tell they wanted the game to feel like it was a big world, which it is, but when you put a bunch of empty, like a big empty open world, it's not really going to be, that great. An example of this was Destiny, they would make these beautiful worlds and this crazy art. Bungie's artists are always spot on. Everything looks really good, but the world was empty and there's not really much you can do, and that's what I felt with this game. The story was solid, it's always about a different alien race. Samus crashes in it, she loses all her power armor, but I gotta say, and I admit it, I'm being biased, the villain, awesome. Silex. Now I gotta glaze Silex a bit right here. When I was a kid, my first DS game was Metroid Prime Hunters, and we all know that Silex comes out in Hunters, and Silex was like my fave, man.
And you're probably asking, LegendaryMoon, how much of a fave he was?
Well, I had him as my background in my MySpace profile. Well, that's what I said, MySpace. And Silex has been teased forever to come out in the Metroid game, and finally, he's out here. And by the way, his theme song's so good. I love the guitar. Him coming out in this game really wants me to have Nintendo take out the other hunters, Trace, Camden, Weevil, Noxus, and I feel like I'm missing one. Spire. He was the most boring one. I think his name's Spire, the rock dude. I have a feeling that they'll take out the other hunters as DLC or in another game or something like that. You get me? Because even though Silex was the coolest out of all of them,
come on, trust me. Let's be honest, he was the coolest out of all the hunters and Metroid Prime hunters.
Any Metroid Prime Hunter fans, let me know in the comments. I would like to see the other ones too. I always thought it was weird that they just chose him, and I feel like they only chose him because he was probably everyone's favorite. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I felt like. So yeah, a lot of people were saying, well, he's no Dark Samus, he's no Ridley. I mean, I know, but he's Silex. I guess it's just a villain that if you didn't play Metroid Prime Hunters, you're kind of just okay, cool, whatever. Another thing I did not not like it is the whole, you know, you needed amiibos to unlock the full game. Now, I got every amiibo because I'm a big Metroid fan, but I thought it was pretty lame that I had to get amiibos to like unlock something, especially music background for the motorcycle riding. That was low. I'm not gonna lie, that was not very consumer friendly. Other than that, I thought the game was great. I personally give it an 8 out of 10. Solid 8 out of 10. The game was cool, the music was cool, the action was cool into the Metroid Prime Hunter gameplay. Again, being biased, I like that Silex came out in this one. It was cool. For sure, I can't give it a 10 because there's little nitpicks, like I said, like, you know, that, like it did not stick the landing. Oh, lastly, the one thing that people made a big deal about was the NPC. You know the one. He was annoying. I get it. He was annoying. I'm not gonna hear and say that like, bro, it wasn't that annoying. The jokes he was saying, it was very like kid friendly and cheesy, but I mean, again, Nintendo's always trying to, you know, have their games for the kids. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but Pokemon and Mario isn't really made for adults. You can play it, but I feel like it's that meme where like, what, Call of Duty's made for adults but kids play it, Pokemon's made for kids and adults play it. It's kind of something like that. I don't think they did that. That's the reason why they put that NPC. I feel like they put the NPC just to like, I don't know, to add some humor into the game, but again, we all know here on the internet, like, that's not funny. The humor they put there was so cheesy and it's been done a lot. Some people compare it to Marvel humor. I guess you can compare it to that, but I would say sometimes some Marvel jokes land a little better than this. This is very like cheesy. It is annoying, but I don't think I would like totally lower the score of a game just for that. It is annoying. You can if you want, but I personally wouldn't. So that's pretty much my Metroid Prime 4 Beyond little review, little essay. I have nothing to say. I just hope that the game makes enough money so we can have more Metroid games, because, you know, if this game doesn't do well, I'm pretty sure Nintendo already doesn't like Samus and Metroid. They'll probably shelve this franchise for a little while and then maybe make another one, maybe a reboot. You know what, I just thought about that. They would probably make a reboot. I can see that happening, you know, kind of like explain like Samus's new origin story. I don't know why. Is it weird that I just have that feeling that they would do that? I don't know. Maybe it's because everything's being rebooted now. But anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this game. Was this game horrible? You've seen those reviews that it's like the worst game. It's the worst game. It's the worst. Literally the worst. Why? Like, it is worse than that one Superman game or that E.T. game, you know? Worse than that. That's what people are saying. Or was the game actually pretty good, you know? I think 8 is a pretty solid review. I've seen other people give it like a 9 or 7, but I think 8 is pretty good. Or was the game mid, you know, like a 5 out of 10 or a 6? Let me know in the comment section. And if you guys like my video, leave a subscribe. It helps. Comment if you didn't like my video. Was my take bad? Comment also. But yeah, subscribe. It really helps a lot, you know? Lets me know that I'm doing a decent job, at least decent, you know? So yeah, do that. And I got other videos, you know, if you guys want to check those out. And I will see you guys on the next one.